Well, it's time now for a look at what's making the front pages of today's international newspapers with Elena Casas. Hello, Elena.
Hello, Lorna.
Right, so as we've been mentioning in the news bulletin, Greece has a brand new government, or will be getting a brand new government today. What are their papers making of it all?
It's a new era and we're betting on Papademos. That's the headline at the paper Ethnos. They're quite optimistic, actually, saying that after all the chaos Greece has been through, a technocratic government that puts the politicians to one side and actually passes some policies could be exactly what Greece needs at the moment. It's a tempered optimism, though, with other papers, definitely. The left-wing paper Eleftheros Typos headlines on a tough agenda for Papademos. They're pointing out that, of course, he does have to push through some even tougher austerity measures than they've already had, and given the amount of people out on the streets in Greece protesting in recent months in open defiance of their government, there's no necessarily a reason why they should stop now just because the government's changed. The more right-wing paper Ketimerini, though, says maybe there is some hope that people out on the streets might take a step back from the abyss, as they call it rather. They say maybe the people will realise there are actually people with knowledge and honesty in government now who can offer something positive when the country needs it so desperately.
And, of course, another country that's all change at the moment, or in the process of change, is Italy. Still not completely certain what's going to happen there politically, but it looks like Mario Monti will be their next head of the government. So what do the papers there think about all these options that are in play?
Well, look at this story in left-leaning La Repubblica. They say the outgoing Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi changed his mind yesterday from backing a general election that would possibly have brought his chosen political heir into power to deciding to support a technocratic government under Mario Monti. Why? Well, according to La Repubblica, it's because he's worried about the falling stock market value of his own companies rather than the future of Italy.
Perhaps a believable story there, who knows? But do the papers actually back that idea of the technocratic government?
Well, in La Repubblica's editorial, they say it might be a good idea, but there's so much infighting going on still between Italy's different political parties before they can actually agree any technocratic government, and there's no guarantee that it will actually get enough support to pass anything once it is put in place. La Stampa, though, is really very positive about this idea. They call it the antidote to the sinking of the system, saying that by picking Mario Monti, President Giorgio Napolitano has played his very best and most prestigious card, and it seems, they say, that Italian politicians have lost all sense of responsibility, so why not put some technical people, some economists in charge to put through policies that Italy really needs and leave those politicians to one side.
OK, well, we're going to move on now to over the channel in the UK, because News International chairman James Murdoch appeared before the British Parliamentary Committee yesterday, and that's made headlines in much of the British press today.
He's on all the British front pages. If we have a look at The Independent, they're asking who's lying on this front page. We've got James Murdoch there on the right. He denied yesterday that he knew anything about the phone hacking being endemic at News International before it was revealed in the press this summer. On the left there, you've got two other men, Colin Myler, former editor of the News of the World, and their former legal head, Tom Crone. Now, they told a parliamentary select committee, they told Murdoch about these charges, particularly an email that revealed the hacking was wasn't limited to only one reporter, way back in 2008. So the paper says one of them must be lying, and even more so, James Murdoch is either lying or he's incompetent, because what CEO wouldn't know about that kind of thing going on in his business? One question now for you, Lorna, to wrap up with. If you wanted to know what to pack on holiday, who would you ask?
I'd probably go to a guidebook, I imagine.
Well, you probably wouldn't call the British Embassy in your country of destination, would you?
Probably not.
Now, plenty of people do, according to a report by the Foreign Office that's published in The Guardian of the weirdest requests that they get. A man in Dubai apparently asked the British Embassy to pick up his dog from the airport because he wasn't free to do so. And the British government has had to set up a special call centre in Malaga in Spain to deal with these kind of calls, including the woman who wanted to know what shoe size Prince Charles is so she could buy him some slippers as a present, and the man who wanted Phil Collins' telephone number. The Foreign Office says, The Guardian reminds us, that you are only supposed to contact the British Embassy, Brits abroad, if you really have a proper emergency, and not like one woman, you just want some advice on setting up a chicken coop in your garden of your holiday home in Greece.
Well, I suppose it's very flattering that they feel that the embassy staff can answer all these many and varied inquiries.
Yes, that's one way of looking at it.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Elena, for that look at all today's international newspapers.